Hello, everybody, and welcome in on this Thursday evening. A look at your top headlines now. Trump speaking tonight at the University of Alabama, and what airline is bringing back some flights out of Destin, plus a lawsuit regarding the SS United States. All of that and more is coming up on News 5 Now.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Thursday evening. I'm your digital reporter, Summer Poole. Thank you for being here with me again. Guys, if you heard me at the beginning, just pretend like you didn't, because it's Thursday afternoon. I'm tired, okay? Your girl's sleepy. And so sometimes I stumble over my See, there we go. Sometimes I stumble over my words because my brain goes faster than my mouth works. So, anyways, Thursday evening, almost Friday. Whoop, whoop. Let me know if you've got any good big plans this weekend. And it's supposed to rain, so I don't really know what else is going on. I know there's like a tacos and tequila festival in Robertsdale, so that sounds exciting. There's a couple other things. Hot air balloons going up at OWA, so a bunch of different things. Go check them out. As for you and me, though, we're going to go ahead and get started with our top 5 stories of the day. Here we go, starting with number 5. A bill to open up access to beaches on the Florida Panhandle now goes to the governor's desk. The measure would repeal a 2018 statute which gives more authority to property owners to keep the shore in front of their beachfront homes private. It would also give more control to Walton County officials and could pave the way to open up those restricted areas to the public. At number 4, President Donald Trump will soon speak at a graduation event at the University of Alabama. The ticketed event is being held at Coleman Coliseum beginning at 6:30. Former Alabama football head coach Nick Saban and University President Stuart Bell are also scheduled to deliver remarks at the ceremony. We will live stream the president's address on the WKRG Facebook page, so you don't have to miss it. You can check it out right here. At number 3, Avelo Airlines is bringing back nonstop flights to Connecticut from the Destin Fort Walton Beach Airport. The flights are being offered on Thursdays and Sundays. One-way fares start at $58, and reservations are now available on the Avelo website. Number 2, the Clark County Circuit Court approves the sale of the Thomasville Hospital property. The hospital on Highway 43 will be sold to Prestige Thomasville, LLC. The facility closed in September after struggling to gain its footing following the COVID pandemic. The hospital was placed in a receivership a month after closing. And number 1, a group from New York is filing a lawsuit in an effort to prevent the sinking of America's last ocean liner in Okaloosa County. Members of New York's Coalition to Save the Steamship United States Incorporated want to see the ship saved and turned into a floating hotel or museum in Brooklyn. The SS United States is currently docked in Mobile, where it is being stripped of hazardous materials before it is sunk off the coast of Destin Fort Walton Beach to become the largest artificial reef. The coalition has not offered any financial plans for how they would move the ship back to Brooklyn or the cost to renovate it. And those, my friends, are our top 5 stories this evening. So, I don't know if you guys knew this. I didn't know this until I was looking at these scripts. Did you know SS stands for steamship? I didn't know that. And I mentioned it in the newsroom, and it seemed like nobody else knew that. So, there's your little fun tidbit of the day. Now, we're going to go over to our question of the day. And today, our question is, what's your favorite small town along the Gulf Coast? Now, we asked you this for a reason. So, Ocean Springs was ranked among the USA Today's top 10 small town cultural scenes. So, we wanted to know your thoughts on what your favorite small town along the Gulf Coast is. I have only been to Fairhope like one time, and I didn't actually really see Fairhope. I was like at a house in Fairhope. But I've heard it's gorgeous. And so I would probably say that. Or, I mean, I got to give it to the city I grew up in, Sims. I know we're not like waterfront or anything, but we're growing. Sims is growing. Jazz hands. So, yeah, let's see what you guys say. I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I think Devin covered these earlier. Okay, Dwayne says Citronelle. I've played many softball games there. Sheena says Ocean Springs and Port St. Joe. Well, USA Today agrees with you, Sheena. William says Biloxi, Mississippi for the fun and excitement. I do like the IP's buffet. They got good food over there. Willie says Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs is really pretty. I've only been there once. Me and my friend went over there and did a little shopping damage. It is pretty. Sheila says Anna Marie Island. Nancy says Apalachicola. Frank says Seagrove Beach, Florida, 30A. I've never been to 30A. I've always wanted to go, but I've heard it's super expensive. I don't know. Probably is. Lee says Navarre. Mike says Bay St. Louis. Lisa says Dauphin Island. Andy says Daphne. There's a lot of good ones in here. Violet says Grand Bay. Raymond says Mobile is better than all counties in Alabama areas, from the top to the bottom. Mobile bleeds red, white, and blue. Pat and Robert say Panama City Beach. Sylvia says Rosemary Beach. Oh, Melinda, Fairhope. Edna says Fairhope. I didn't realize how close I was to this mic, guys. I just like hit myself in the face with it. Okay. Steven says all of them. So y'all got a lot of good ones in here. Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Milton. You know, so many good ones. I love the beach. It's not my favorite. I would prefer the mountains, but I like the beach too. All right. So now we're going to move on to our poll of the day. And our poll today is, we are less than a week away from real IDs being enforced. Have you gotten your real ID yet? 67% of you say yes. 33% of you say no. Now remember, May 7th, I want to clarify something because I've seen it a lot. And I just want to say, May 7th is not the deadline to get your real ID. That is when it is going to be enforced. So you can get your real ID anytime after May 7th, but it is going to start being enforced on May 7th. So just to clarify that, I've seen a lot of people say, you know, the real ID deadlines. It's not a deadline. Let's not call it that. So that is what you guys are saying about the poll. I haven't got mine yet, so that's on my to-do list, guys. It's on my to-do list. So anyways, now that we've covered all of this, I'm going to give you some homework. And I know you're like, Summer, I just got off work. It's been a long day. I got to feed the kids. I got to feed myself. I got to get showers and all of that. This is easy homework, I promise. So what you're going to want to do, go to our Facebook page if you're not already there. I know some of you guys watch on WKRG.com, but you're going to want to go to our Facebook page. You're going to want to answer the next question and poll, which are, Microsoft is raising prices for the Xbox. What is the most you'd pay for a gaming console? And our poll is, sea turtle nesting season began today. Have you ever seen a sea turtle nest hatch? So those are our next question and poll of the days. Thank you again so much for joining me today. I'm Summer Poole, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.
covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.